back. I'm just making another video. I know this is not much longer than my KV13 review. It's on the same day. But I decided to make a thicker one just cause I thought, why not? Today we're going to review, the Tier 5 French artillery, the AMX 13105 AM. This is the 50 version, not the 47 version. The 47 version is also really good, but we're looking at this. This is a very, very good artillery piece. It's probably one of my favorites. So let's take a look at it. First off, 350 view range, not terrible, not amazing. It's capable. Normally it wouldn't be a big deal of it not having amazing view range, but unlike the Chaffee, which has the exact same camo value, this thing has incredible view range to compensate for that. You'll still see them far longer than until they see you. But this thing's camo value is not that good, especially since you have to fire the gun, and that ruins the camo value as well. And that 350 view range can make it difficult to spot them before they spot you, which you need in artillery sometimes. So anything you can do to increase that view range or your camo value is all the more helpful in such a vehicle like this. This thing is the exact same top speed, horsepower per ton, and traverse speed of the AMX 13 F3, the most popular artillery in the game. One of the most popular artillery in the game. So the thing is just as fast. I don't know if this thing's ground resistance is better, equal, or worse, but I assume it's equal for the most part. Maybe even a little worse, just because this thing's more top heavy. Alright, let's get the gun. This thing is the fastest firing artillery gun for Tier 5, and also does the least damage. Simply because it's an upgrade. It's the Tier 4 artillery, the 47 version, but with increased accuracy, aim time, and rate of fire. The biggest drawbacks of artillery weapons. Though it doesn't get the least penetration for standard high explosive shells. And its arc is actually pretty good for French artillery. The hallmarks of the French artillery are fast speed, terrible gun arcs, and yeah, you get the idea. But its premium ammo is APCR and gets an amazing 223 penetration, making its APCR ammo very good for TD mode. So you'd pretty much only use this stuff for TD mode, or you have a target close by that's completely tracked, and you know it's not going to move anytime soon, that you've pre-aimed on. The rate of fire isn't amazing, 4 rounds a minute, a little more than 4 rounds a minute. The damage isn't that good, the splash is terrible. The accuracy and the aim time is amazing, so this thing is a very accurate artillery piece. Now let's look at the armor. The armor is garbage on the sides and the rear, but the frontal armor is interesting. Its hull is 40 millimeters thick, and it's got amazing sloping. And this little weak point here, it's got spaced armor right here. And this point is a weakness, and this superstructure is a huge weakness. But I've bounced shots from Luke's Leopards and AT-20s on this thing's hull. It's the superstructure is garbage. It's terrible thickness. The sloping is not that good. This tiny little panel on the gun has counts as spaced armor, but there's an armor hole behind it. The tank's opening is behind that, so if you're fighting this thing with a low penetration gun, aim for the superstructure. I'm pretty sure this thing too causes fires. I am not certain. I'm not sure. It might count as spaced armor. It might be nothing. I do not know. This is a weak point too, but if you can penetrate, you should be. If you can penetrate that, you can penetrate this, and this is a huge target. Alright, that's pretty much it, I guess. I mean, its gun traverse is 12 on one side, 12 on the other. The AMX 13 F3 has slightly better traverse, but it's got an incismal gun arc. One side of it, I think this side has like 5 degrees, pretty crap, but the other side's an amazing 30. And the AMX 47's got a ridiculous gun arc, a ridiculous traverse length. I think it's like 45 degrees, might even be better. I remember it was an amazing vehicle in terms of that. The 22 gun traverse is pretty crap, but it is helpful for a vehicle like an SPG, because not only does it not have a turret, so it's completely irrelevant for trying to stop a tank from surrounding you. And since you move the gun at long range, it loses accuracy the faster it moves. So with a gun this slow, it loses a lot less accuracy when you turn the gun without turning the hole. Equipment fit, camo net, artillery, shell rammer, bundling drive. Even with such an accurate and fast aiming artillery beast, you definitely want all of these threes. Unless you're driving a camo net included. Unless you're driving a vehicle like the SU-14-2, which is a piece of fucking shit, don't bother driving the damn thing. It's not even worth grinding the tiers 9 and 10 through that crud. The tier 9's just as bad, on par with one of the worst vehicles in the game. And the tier 10 is not terrible. It's pretty good TD artillery, but it's not worth the grind. Especially since tier 8s and 9s are the hardest vehicles to grind. If you're not going to load a gun rammer or gunling drive, or if you're going to take one of these out, a good alternative is a binoc telescope. Not only can you remove this as well as the camo net, but that view range would be really helpful. Obviously, I only have a camo net because I don't want to spend money on this thing. I'm going to just upgrade to the tier 6. Crew, 6 Sense, and camouflage should be your primary goal. Camouflage, 6 Sense. Eagle Eye is pointless. You're barely going to be spotting your own targets. Recon is a good idea. Situal awareness is another good idea. Relaying has got a good signal range, and it's at low tier, so that would be kind of useful, but it's, you know, Brothers in Arms is a good idea. You can't put vents on this thing, so Brothers in Arms isn't a terrible idea. Off-road driving. Any vehicle that is this fast, you want off-road driving. Smooth ride, you should rarely be firing on the move, unless you're driving directly at the target, where driving directly at the target doesn't really, you don't get nearly as much of a penalty. You shouldn't be firing on the move unless you're doing that. In that case, this isn't that useful. Clutch braking might be a good idea. Preventive maintenance and control impact are terrible on this. Loader, just camo. Load camo and then Brothers in Arms if you're trying to go for that. If you're trying to go for a Brothers in Arms perk on your current level of training, go with Brothers in Arms. Otherwise, go with camo. Anything after that point, I'd recommend Intuition. Even with a gun reloading this fast, it can be useful. And did we look at the gunner? I don't think we looked at the gunner. Deadeye is a good idea. I'd recommend Deadeye. Designated target's not a good idea. Armor is not a good idea. And Snapshot's not a good idea. You should be loading Deadeye or camo or Brothers in Arms. Yeah, that's the vehicle. It's a pretty good vehicle. It's a very, very good and capable arty. I would show you a game, but my editing software is, just because of the way I film these videos, it's extremely difficult for me to make a video that's any longer than 10-15 minutes. And after the 15-minute mark, I'm pretty much not going to be able to do anything. So that's pretty much the review. I'm going to try to get that fixed and fix my intro. I still haven't figured out how to get that music to work on it. Every time I try downloading a song, it just doesn't have the right it doesn't have the right type of file. It won't support it. Every single type of music I try downloading is MP3, and my editing software doesn't work with MP3 files. So I'll try to get that fixed, and I guess I'll check you next time. Bye.